Well, they got the win. You said they would do that, Key.
Yep.
Paul was a little nervous.
They didn't cover the spread.
Giants,
yeah, but they didn't cover the spread.
But we didn't pick based on the spread, Paul. They don't care about that. All they care about is did they win or did they lose?
Yeah, they won. They won.
Well, not according to Micah, but what did you think about the Cowboys win?
I thought that it was a good win, right? They needed a win. They hadn't won since week 1. They lost 2 in a row. It was fine because they won. Now, when you start to look into it, there was no overall dominant performance. I thought Dak played well, but then when you look at it, I can't look at the defense and say, well, they didn't get 150 yards run down their throat. Well, that's not what the Giants are anyway. The Giants are just a team that, won a game, and you look at them, you go, okay, whatever. They didn't dominate the Giants the way that they dominated the Browns. Or they didn't or the Giants didn't dominate them the way that the other 2 teams dominated them in their losses. So it's like when you look at it, they didn't put their foot on the Giants' throat. For the Giants to be a subpar team with Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones, and you kind of sit there and you go, they should beat them up pretty bad, but they didn't. They got out of there with a win, which is fine. Now let's see what it looks like going on the road to Pittsburgh and then coming back home to the Lions. That'll be a real test and a real judge. I'm still good with the 2-4, trust me.
We'll get to that in a second. What did you think of the win?
Oh, man. Listen, I didn't sign Dak Prescott to the highest contract in league history. I didn't sign CeeDee Lamb to the second highest receiver contract to be barely scraping by the New York Giants, who are going nowhere fast. Yeah, they got the win. It's good for the psyche, and I get all that. But before the season, what are the goals for the Cowboy? The goals are to win a championship. And I just don't see championship habits over there. Their defenses and all that. I mean, Giants got their average. They averaged 15 points a game. They got that. Dak was okay. Good thing is CeeDee. Dak was good. CeeDee, they got him going finally. So there is some things you can kind of take away from this, but it's just not impressive. And, with the road that lies ahead for them, man, this is going to be a long year for the Dallas Cowboys. I promise you that. I just don't see it. I just don't.
That I can agree with. I don't. It wasn't impressive. It was a Band-Aid win. Stop the bleeding. Hold things off. Hold everyone back. Okay, is Mike McCarthy going to have to sell his house? Did they make a mistake paying Dak? What's going to happen with the defense, the CeeDee Lamb? Everyone just hold on. That's what this win was. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't something that shut everyone up. It just kind of pressed pause on all of our concerns. There were things that were positives to pull from it.
Yeah, definitely.
They got CeeDee Lamb going. That's a positive. You did stop the run. Whether they are a good running team, they were 19th in rushing. The Giants were going into the game. Okay, you stopped the run successfully. That's a positive. Whether or not this was a team that is scary running the ball or not is not the question, because you couldn't stop the run at all, and you were able to do that. You were able to get the win. You were able to get a win on the road on a short week. You were able to quiet everyone. Now you have a little bit of a longer break because it was a short week to get everyone healthy, which is the concerns that I have from this game. I'm not concerned with how they played in this game, because I think we all expected this to be a little closer than Giants-Cowboys games have been in the past, and certainly last year. They don't look like the same type of dominant team. But you had some injuries coming out of this game. Micah Parsons, Marcus Lawrence. You're going to need to get everyone healthy, and we don't have answers on everyone and how long they're going to be out. But you were struggling, and you got to win, and that's a good place to start. So you got to feel good, at least about that. But they were able to slow up the run last night, allowing just 26 yards on the ground after giving up 185 a game through the first 3 weeks. Do you trust the Cowboys' run defense moving forward, Key?
No, I don't. Because, again, and I understand what you're saying. What was it, 26 yards?
26 yards.
24 of those 26 was by Singletary.
Yes.
I mean, come on, seriously. It was no Alvin Kamara. There was no Derrick Henry. Although they didn't face Chubb in week 1, there was no Chubb. So when you start to look at it, they're getting ready to go up against Justin Fields and Najee Harris and whatever Detroit rolls out there and biting off kneecaps when they play them after the fact. They will impress me if they could do this to them. Now they fixed the run defense. But you didn't fix the run defense in my opinion, against the Giants. And then on the flip side of things, one of the things I took away from the game that I did not like is the fact that you haven't addressed your offensive running. You got CeeDee Lamb running the ball out of the backfield. What is that? Like, what is that? You're supposed to have running backs running the ball out of the backfield.
No, they want to get CeeDee the ball no matter what.
Yeah, but that ain't.
He ain't been getting the ball.
You can do some other things to get in the football.
Yeah,
I don't like that. He's not Debo Samuel. He didn't play running
he got
back.
10 yards, though. That was a good run.
I know, but it's still, come on.
That was a good run.
Don't do that to me, though. Because you showing me you don't even have confidence in your running game. You got CeeDee Lamb lining up in the eye. He dotting the eye.
Yeah. We got to try something because everything else we've been doing ain't working. We got to try something.
Do you trust the run defense moving forward for the Cowboys?
I trust them like I trust me going to Miami on a you know, I don't have to finish that.
Here we go. Here we go.
We don't got to finish that. Going to Fountain Blue on Miami for 3 straight days.
Oh.
So absolutely not. The Giants, they did do some good things on the rush defense last night. But as far as trust is a very big, heavy word that implies consistency and evidence and showing up time after time and overcoming certain things so that you can establish that connection. Trust, no. They're going to have to do a little bit more to establish trust in the run defense. But this is a good place to start. They averaged 1 yard per carry, a little over 1 yard per carry. They had no rushing touchdowns allowed. And also, they didn't let them score a touchdown, which I think is important. Like, obviously, this Giants offense, is not dynamic, but you did hold them to only field goals. You did completely shut down the run game. And there were questions about whether you were going to be able to do any of those things coming into this game, and you did it. Like, obviously, the Cowboys are a more talented, a more established team as far as winning goes, going up against the Giants. But this is a new year, and the Cowboys needed to get this win. So whether it looked pretty or not is not really a big concern to me. That's more,
they needed to win.
That's more about college to me. Every team that you play every single weekend is a professional team. The difference between the best professional team and the worst one is in reality not that much. That's why they're all professionals. This isn't Panera Bread State versus Alabama. So any day, any night, it can be your night. And that's because they're all pros. So it's not always going to look pretty. Now, you don't want to be winning games the wrong way. Yeah. That is something to be concerned about. But you've got to start somewhere. So while I don't trust the defense moving forward yet, I do think that it was a good start. Even though he picked the Cowboys to win this game, should he be worried about his 2-4 prediction, no, Paul?
If I was Key, I'm not worried. But I will say this. They got 10 days to their next game to clean some stuff up. Yes, Pittsburgh is 3-0. I get it. But at the same time, Pittsburgh is not really a team that I'm saying, wow, they're looking impressive. Defensively, absolutely. Historic pace. They're only giving up 10 points a game. But I feel like out of these next games, Pittsburgh, Detroit, by San Francisco, I could steal this game at Pittsburgh. And that's what I would be looking at moving forward. You got 10 days to do it. So I'm confident that the Dallas Cowboys can get their stuff together within the next week and a half and go into Pittsburgh and get a win.
Well, Key, how do you feel about your prediction? You said 2-4 before the season started.
Yeah, I'm still on track. How am I off track? I don't understand. How am I off track? Where am I off track at? Right? They 2-2.
Right.
Yes.
And now they got the going to the Steelers, which I think no matter if they had 8 weeks off before the next game. I like Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin in this game.
All right.
Their Pittsburgh Steelers defense is not even, the Giants aren't even close to them.
Yeah, of course.
And offensively, I trust Justin Fields and Najee Harris and company to put some points on the board. Then they got Detroit. So let's say, for instance, they win one of these games. That's okay. Then I'll just move the goalpost. Move it on down the line. Hey, they're going to go 3-6. You know, that's all.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.